Awareness, trigger control, and proactiveness. Those are the tasks that each human right now, in this present moment, it is called upon to transcend the animal that is remaining, the animal part that lingers in the human being to become divine. What is this about? It is about the recognizing what we call as pattern that actually are ritualization trigger that comes from the superior animal kingdom. It is a code that instantiated within the genome of the DNA, and it is manifested through a sequence of movements that superior animals intended as ducks, dogs, pigs, and all this kind of animals I'm referring have. What is a ritualized movement? It is the solution that the evolution, the developing of life found in reducing contrast, reducing aggressiveness. And so when an animal finds itself being aggressive toward a member of its own family, towards a member of its own species, what it is instantiated, it is a redirection of this aggressiveness. And you can see that in example in the wolves, when two wolves are fighting for dominance, the weaker, that one that decides, let's say, to show its throat, it is the one that concede the territory in within the battle. And there are many examples within all the animal kingdom. If you're interested in this topic, go learn and read what Lawrence Conrad wrote about this. Is an ethologist and studied for whole throughout his life these concepts. And what does this teaches us? It is that this setup of ritualization, of redirection of aggressiveness, it is what in the human nature still directs the culture, the beliefs, whatever. And recognizing this enables us to be awake on the setup. Because when someone goes on autopilot, there is this process of ritualization. It is a redirection of the energy, which Conrad talks about aggressiveness. And any kind of emotion, feeling that we have as human beings undergoes this process. When someone is chained to this ritualization mechanisms, but once you wake up and you recognize that this trigger start what we call in psychology a pattern, it is actually an autonomous sequence of gestures that we inherited from previous animals. So what we think it is like humans culture, actually it's animal. And to transcend this is to remove all this, you see, these rules, these triggers. It's about removing all of them and listening to the divine, to the heart, to God, to yourself. This is the act of transcending the animal. It is by really be aware of what is going on in what human calls still yet the outside and the inside, and recognizing they are the same. What more to tell you about the stuff of the ritualization? It is that, you see, free will, it is gifted upon the humans. Life is gifted to us, and we are gifted of the free will. And this is the transcension. It is the moment we ascend as divine because we have free will. And you see that those patterns, those chained sequence of actions are cages. So as long as you and me and whatever human still is operating within this ritualization. This is autonomous. There is no free will. Okay, this is fundamental to grasp. It is that the animals and humans, as long we operate in this way of being like asleep, of just being governed by this ritualization pattern, this is like selling your free will to a false god, to a ritualization pattern. Call it whatever you want. It is something that you give the whole control of yourself, of your life, and takes the reins. And it is governing you. And it happens all in the mind. That is why I always say you have to listen to your art and clear the mind, keep the interface clear, because whatever the hypothesis, the rule you start from, you will only see that thing at the end of the process. So the input, it is your output. If in your input there is the idea of rights, of duty, in your output there is rights and duty. So whatever you believe in the input, you will find it in the output. And so when you wonder maybe why you only see this, it is because you have put that into your mind, unconsciously, subconsciously, whatever. It is a ritualization pattern that starts from a seed idea that you accepted in your garden and you are growing it. So take a look around.